All right, today we're doing something a little different. We are diving into the incredibly rigorous world of a legendary yoga master, but we're going to see it all through the eyes and, honestly, the fiery wisdom of a very, very unique teacher. Let's get into it. So, meet our guide for this explainer, Zoran. He's a wise, ancient dragon whose perspective is, well, let's just say he does not mince words. He sees all this potential in us humans, but man, he is not impressed with our modern distractions.
And that really is the question, isn't it? We're going to try to unpack the core principles of BKS Iyengar, a man who completely transformed not just his own body, but the entire way we practice yoga. And we're going to do it all through Zoran's demanding but surprisingly insightful lens.
First things first. To really get this master, you have to understand the struggle he went through. I mean, this is not a story about someone who was born strong. No, this is a story about someone who had to forge strength right from the brink of collapse.
As Zoran puts it, Iyengar really started out as a sickly hatchling. And this is so crucial to his entire philosophy. His deep understanding of the human body didn't come from reading a bunch of books. It came from a direct, personal, and brutal battle against his own physical weakness.
Just look at this timeline. It shows you the sheer weight of what he was up against. I mean, by the age of 9, he had already battled influenza, typhoid, malaria, and tuberculosis. For him, yoga wasn't some new hobby. It was a desperate last resort, basically a lifeline thrown to him by his brother-in-law, the great yogi Krishnamacharya.
And all of this leads to what we can call the crucible effect. His personal struggle became the very thing that gave him his wisdom. Because he had to literally fight for every single ounce of health, he learned the mechanics of the body on this incredibly deep personal level. His weakness, it became his greatest teacher.
And Zoran's proverb here just nails the whole point of this first section. It's such a powerful way to rethink what strength really is. It's not about being invincible, it's about having that relentless will to rebuild. That single idea became the foundation for everything he taught.
Okay, so this is where Iyengar's personal journey really turns into a universal principle for all of us. Because he had to literally mend his own broken structure, he became obsessed with figuring out how to build the perfect internal architecture for the human body.
Zoran's commentary here is a little sharp, yeah, but he kind of has a point, doesn't he? We live in a world that pretty much encourages us to have bad posture and to be totally disconnected from our own bodies. Iyengar's work is the perfect antidote to this whole wilted lettuce state of being.
And this right here, this shows you exactly what's at stake. When you move without precision, you're basically just flailing. Your mind is scattered, you risk injury. But when you move with precision, everything changes. It becomes intelligent, it's safe, and it allows what yogis call prana, or your life force, to flow way more efficiently.
So what does all this precision actually do? Well, it's not just about looking good in a yoga pose. It's about creating real harmony inside your body, reducing all that wear and tear on your joints, and building this incredible sense of where your body is in space. That's called proprioception. It literally turns a workout into a work-in.
This proverb just perfectly wraps up the whole idea. Your body is a structure, and if you want to make it strong, if you want it to last, you have to pay obsessive attention to the foundation. Every little detail matters.
Okay, but what if you can't get to that perfect foundation? What if your body is just too stiff, or you're injured, or you're just not there yet? Well, this is where Iyengar's true genius for making this stuff accessible really shines.
This is such a critical mind shift, you guys. So many people see props, blocks and belts, as a sign of weakness, like they're a crutch. But Iyengar, he saw them as teachers. They don't do the work for you. They show you how to do the work correctly. Think of them as a bridge to a smarter version of the pose.
And here's the whole arsenal he developed. I mean, they're simple objects, right? But they are profound in how you can use them. Blocks literally bring the floor up to you. Belts act like an extension of your own arms. Chairs give you stability. Every single tool has a very specific job to help you understand the correct action.
So the purpose here goes way deeper than just a little support. Props let you feel the correct alignment. They let you stay in a pose longer so you get all the benefits. And, maybe most importantly, they help you practice safely. They make yoga accessible to everyone, no matter where they're starting from.
And that's really the key takeaway here. It's not about forcing your body into some shape it's not ready for. It's about intelligently using the tools you have to craft that shape with wisdom and care. So we've talked a lot about the body, right? About alignment and props and all the physical stuff. But for Iyengar, and definitely for Zoran, this meticulous physical work was never, ever the final destination. It was just the start of the real journey. Honestly, this might be my favorite piece of Zoran's wisdom in this whole thing. The physical practice, the yoga poses, that's the act of polishing the cage. It's essential, it's beautiful work, but the ultimate goal is to allow the bird within, your soul, your spirit, your true self to actually be free.
And this was Iyengar's core belief. The body isn't just a machine that you exercise. No, it's a sacred space. And all that intense focus, the discipline, the precision, it's all a form of purification, of making your body a stable and clear vessel for your own consciousness.
So the most important point is this. What you see on the outside, the sweat, the stretching, the struggle, that's just a reflection, a shadow, of a much, much deeper change that's happening on the inside. The real work is invisible.
Now, of course, Zoran wouldn't just let us sit here and listen without taking some kind of action, so he's left us with a simple but surprisingly profound challenge for you to try out.
I really encourage you to try this later. The challenge sounds so simple, right? Just stand still with your eyes closed. But as step 4 says, the real goal isn't having perfect posture, it's having perfect awareness. That focus, that is the true heart of this practice.
And that leaves us with the final question. We've seen how a frail boy completely transformed himself through sheer will, and then created a system to help all of us do the same. The visible work, it creates the foundation. But that invisible transformation, well, that's up to you. So what will you choose to transform?